Liberians, our election is in October.
Saying it all. They will come to you, they will tell you what they can do, but he's still advising us to open our eyes. Tell me, in your community, what's taking place there? How is the campaign process going on? You can call us to be a part of this discussion today. So what are they saying to you? What are they telling you? Why do they say you should vote for them? Are people bringing down posters in your community? Okay, thank you so much. And we're taking another caller on the line. Your name and where you called us from? Hello? Your name and where you called us from? Hello, are you there? Yes. Sheriff has your community. That's great. How's Vonjaman today? How is Vonjaman today? Are people already bringing the campaign to your doors? Is the campaign peaceful in Lofa County? Yes, are you there? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We now have the head of the Civic and Voters Education, the National Elections Commission. He's been working so hard, Mr. Senisi Freeman. On Thursday, he was out there in the fields, talking about law CVE to ensure that people are informed so that the right things are done as we go about the 2017 elections. So, Mr. Freeman, we say thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Kota, for inviting me, and sorry for being a little late. I had another engagement with Nemot, so I'm happy to be in your studio.
It's so good to having you here. Tell us a little about your Thursday's event. We saw people throwing banners, I would call them flyers, these one, let's not call them banners, but flyers talking about the processes involved and about the frequently asked questions, flyers were all around.
Okay, thank you very much. The National Elections Commission are part of its electoral timetable, scheduled the Civic and Voter Education launch for the 2017 presidential and representative elections on August 18, Friday, August 18, 2017. And that launch was held in Monrovia, the headquarters, and at the 19 magisterial offices across the country. You were witness along with several others who graced the occasion, and others by way of Radio Land, as well as across the country. People came up to support this initiative in their numbers. We have a huge attendance of the international partners, representatives from the EU, from the US government, from ECOWAS, from EU, as well as technical international organizations that are providing support, like IFES, like NDI, UNDP. They were also part of that occasion. And then we have an array of political parties, civil society organizations, and what have you. So all of them were part of the process. We had the board there, and the chairman gave a very motivating and stimulating a statement that officially launched the civic and voter education, as well as we have an array of entertainers and musical stars that also grace it. But so it was a wonderful experience and a wonderful engagement with the public. So now that it is over, we are moving with accelerated pace to ensure that we comb the nooks and crannies of our country to ensure that we get all Liberians on board and to specifically be a part of the process so that they can be able to make informed choices come October 10, 2017.
Now that the launching is over, because there are other stages we still need to go through.
So now that the launching is over, the NEC from its part already, since the deployment day, already have civic educators and gender mobilizers, 219 gender mobilizers that are currently being deployed by the magisterial teams across the country. They will carry on face-to-face, house-to-house engagement with stakeholders in the different terrains, helping them to understand the process, the voting steps, how to mark the ballot, and basic information on elections. Coupled with that, we have about 70 civil society organizations that have been supported by UNDP, IFES, NDI, the Carter Center, and all of them, are in different communities, also posting up the efforts of the NEC to ensure that people definitely are on board for these elections.
Was this event across Liberia, or there was just a Montserrat County event?
It was across Liberia. So the reports we are getting reports coming in from all of the magistrates. All of the magisterial teams invited local county authorities, traditional women and youth groups, cultural performances, and an array of citizens from in the magisterial areas. So they converge at appropriate centers and they convene the program, had parades, and it was just a wonderful support. During that process, they distributed stickers, flyers, and display banners across the different areas. Like was also done here, basically to inform people that yes, the NEC is upbeat, ready, and to hold a successful conduct of elections on October 10.
A group that is still very concerned is the group of people we refer to as people with disabilities. What sort of assistance going to be giving them to ensure that these steps we are talking about, they can equally follow them to make sure that they're part and parcel of the process?
Well, there are several approaches working with persons with disabilities. First, we have generally an idea now for what the issues are and the kind of representation they want. They have told us in clear, unequivocal terms that they want to be supported so that they can be able to vote independently, because you know the secrecy of voting is a fundamental part of human rights as regards to voting. So what with support from the United Nations Development Program, the NEC has been able to do first is, as part of the ballot specification and procurement of ballot, they'll also be procuring what we call the tactile ballot guide. The tactile ballot guide is a sheet that helps disability people, especially visually impaired, to be able to participate in the elections.
Okay, who you right? And where you called us from? Hello? Your name and where you called us from? Yes, are you there? Hello? I'm getting you. Hello? Yes, your name and where you called us from? What's your concern? Your concern? Yes, go ahead. What's your concern again? Okay, we're really not understanding you there. This line is there's still a feedback from that line. Okay, yeah, disability, and you were talking about the Tata ballot guide.
Yes. So that's what we've done. First, tactile ballot guide will be in each of the 5,690 centers, 390 centers that will be set up by the NEC.
Okay.
All right. So in each of those polling centers, you will have a tactile ballot guide for the president and vice president elections, and then also for the House of Representative elections for each of those 70 electoral districts.
Okay.
So if a voter goes there, a blind voter, he will be given that so that it can help him to mark the ballot. Now, what are we doing with regard to civic engagement and what have you? In the next few days, the NEC is going to convene a meeting with some of the key visually impaired institutions in the country, so that we can together chart the way forward. Additionally, through UNDP, we're going to provide some seed funding to some of these specific organizations to be able to go and help the people to understand how to use the tactile ballot during the elections. So basically, those are the interventions that we are carrying out. But that's for the visually impaired. But for people who are physically impaired, who are physically challenged and what have you, what the NEC is going to do is that they are going to have first priority on election day on the line. Okay. So if they go on the line, they will be brought to the center.
Let's just hold you there and take this caller. Your name and where you call us from. Walk away from your monitor, please. Your concern. Yes, your concern. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Sharif. So, like I indicated earlier, what we're going to do is that we are working through the magisterial offices and the gender section to ensure that we bring together key stakeholders in the visually impaired community, so that we can first hold a discussion on how we perceive the process, but also so that they can also become involved in the civic education to train the members, all right, like a TOT, which will in turn go and train others who are in the different localities, so that they can understand what they need to do in terms of using the tactile ballot. All right. So that is the plan, and that is what we're going to do. But I can assure you that those people who are visually impaired will definitely have tactile ballot to use. Unlike 2011 and 2014, where we did not have it, we are going to have it, so that we can look at the concerns of persons that are visually impaired. But like I also indicated, for physically challenged, that is what we are also going to do. All right, help them at the queue of the line, and help to facilitate the process so that they can be given first priority. Women who are breastfeeding, or very young mothers, and older people, all of those people will be given first priority to come in front of the line and be able to cast their vote and move on, as a means of helping to encourage most of people in that category to come out on election day, and also to take part in the process.
So when is this entire voting process going to start on the 10th of October?
It's going to start at 8 a.m. in the morning, and it's going to end at 6 p.m. All right. It's important for us, all people, all the persons listening to me, to understand that where you register during the voter registration, those voter registration centers will be broken down into what we call polling places.
Okay.
All right. So maybe one voter registration center may have up to at most 8 polling places, and as low as maybe just 1 polling place. Okay, but they are going to divide the voters in each of the polling centers, for VRO centers, in a way that we're able to have a balance, so that all those who register there can have easy access and be able to come vote on time. Like we say, especially for women, especially for older people. You know, election day doesn't mean that you will not do the things you're supposed to do in your house. You gotta cook the food for your children and for your husband to eat. All right, I'm not saying that that's only the women role, but if you are to play the roles you're supposed to play, what we're saying is that the first thing you do in the morning, you tell your husband, say, sweetheart, let me go vote first. Let me go 8 o'clock, I'll stay on the line, I finish voting, I will come about 10, 11 o'clock, I come, I take the time, I cook the food. Because most time, if the man say, oh, cook the food, everything, you finish cooking before you go. Maybe by that time, the landlord, the woman tired. So we encourage, especially husbands, to motivate and encourage the wives so that they can get up early in the morning and go and take care of the voting business first before they come and do other things. All right.
And maybe if you don't want the woman to go vote before cooking, you can help her get up around 4 and then you carry out the process.
Exactly. All right.
Okay. The entire thing about the voting process is going to kick off, like you say, 8, to... I think we have somebody on the line. Let's take this call on the line. I'll come back to you. Your name and where you called us from? What's your concern? Hello? Your concern? Okay, you listen to him.
Yeah, okay, so let me start with the second one, since I think I've exhausted the issue on visually impaired persons. Okay, but I agree what you said, that we should try to do all we can to start the training as early as possible. So that's what we're working on around the clock, so ensure that those trainings can start up and running. It can definitely be a part of the process. But the issue of very fast, yeah, so what the NEC is going to do as part of the plan is that they're going to... It can definitely be a part of the process. But the issue of very fast, yeah, so what the NEC is going to do as part of the plan is that they're going to on helping poll records to know the process, okay, and those things that can easily make the line to move faster.
Okay, we hold you there and take a caller. Your name and where you called us from? Hello?
The queue controller and the presiding officer, we have some difficulty in identifying so what we will be doing as part of our civic engagement is we'll be encouraging our citizens to also, when they get to the polling place, all right, look at the last 4 digits on your voter registration card.
Okay.
All right, and go to and look across the centers and see where those 4 digits fits.
Okay.
Because that is where you are assigned. All right. Because for example, if you don't do it, you don't check it correctly, and the queue controller doesn't check it correctly, you take maybe an hour to reach to the entrance of the polling center, only to find out that that is not where you belong, and so that's one of the things that cause confusion or what have you. Okay, so we will be encouraging people to look at that, and then when they get at the polling place, check to see if both of it is the same area, and then they can get in line.
Okay, we'll take a caller. Your name and where you call us from. Those are going to help to identify the places, because at the precinct we're going to have several centers. Are these guys going to be, or these individuals going to be only responsible to identify this room, or they're going to follow up on the numbers we're talking about, for example, the 4 digits, last 4 digits, to say, okay, you go in here, or just to tell you, okay, go in room 1 or go in room 2?
Well, yes, basically that's it. The polling place queue controller is responsible to make sure that the voters are assigned into the right polling place that they should be voting, where the particulars are found. Okay, that's one of the mandate of the activity. Okay, so to move between the queue and look at people voter ID cards and see if that's the proper line they're on. But also, what voters can also do is that when you get in the line and you think there's a line, also be sure, ask another voter who is near you, let me see your card. Is it, do you think this is where I'm supposed to be? If you're not very sure, okay, so that you will not have to waste all of that time. All right, but also apart from the presiding officer, while it is true that the voter identification officer, the ballot paper issuer, the ink and ballot box controller, all of these individuals, although they have a specific rules, but they also have complementing rules to also support the presiding officer. Though he or she is also important.
Meaning you can ask any of them to help you.
Exactly. They can also. I mean, if there, for example, there's a lot of work to be done in a particular place, and you know, depending on the flow, some of them can also provide some support. But the training people are finalizing all of the procedures and what have you, so that when the training starts sometime in September, definitely polling staff across the country what they're supposed to do and what are the processes in a way that the process is going to go smoothly and unimpeded.
So, what are the colors going to be used during this election period? Because we are voting for president and representatives.
Yes.
What are the colors?
So for the president, the ballot is a plain ballot with the president, vice president, the emblem, okay, and where to vote or where to mark it.
Okay.
But at the back of it, there is a red stripe. There's a red stripe to indicate that the ballot is for president and vice president. All right. So there's a red stripe at the back
For president.
for president, and then there's a green stripe at the back for House of Representatives.
Okay,
So that's the distinction.
We hold caller who's calling on green. Your name and where you called us from? Yeah, your concern. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think, my man, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Parker. We will continue to do this until election day. All right.
Another caller is on the line. Your name and where you called us from? Hello? Yeah, your name and where you called us from? Okay, your concern. You got some terrible feedback, Connor. You have a terrible feedback. Okay, go ahead. Hello? That's it. Now, the arrangement on the ballot paper, how is it going to be done? When the voter registration was done, we came out checking for names. I'm Kota Doba, and then you see Doba Kota. Is that the same arrangement? Are you going to have the candidates of president, for example, done in alphabetical order, or what's going to happen?
Yes, it's going to be alphabetical order. So the order of the person with the name, the last name that is on the alphabetical order A, B, C, D. Okay, that will be, and that is going to follow all the way up to the 20th candidate. All right, the 20th presidential and vice presidential candidates. That's how it's going to be.
Now that we are seeing banners around, posters for campaign, and you have photos already used to produce the ballot papers, are there differences that you find that posters that people are carrying out, the same photos you see there are the same photos you're going to find on the ballot papers? What's happening there?
Okay, so one thing we realize is that political parties are also an integral part of the work we do in helping to make voters understand the process. And if political parties are listening to me, it's important that all of the billboards the other party paraphernalia, other things that they are printing, carries the pictures of the candidates as it is on the ballot, and also the position of the candidates on the ballot. It's important now to start highlighting those two things instead of just putting campaign posters up that is not resemblance of what is on the ballot. Because if, for example, a voter continue to see a particular color of shirt, or particular way you look, all right, and then on election day he or she see another thing, he or she may get confused. So that is what encouraging. For example, highlight, for example, where you are on the ballot, your number, and the way your party member of the House of Representatives are located.
It's better to have it that way.
It's better to have it that way.
We're taking a caller on the line. Hello? Yes, your name and where you called us from? Yes, we are here. Your name and where you called us from? Thank you. Okay, that's great. Sando County. That's so great. Okay, Sanisi, listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, Saka, I want to say thank you. I mean, your point is well taken. The first thing is all the people that we recruit are Liberians.
That's the funny part.
We are not taking people from Guinea. We're not taking people from Sierra Leone. We're not taking people from Cote d'Ivoire. But yes, it is important that they are very tactful. They are very respectful. And on that day, your responsibility is to ensure that the voters come in a peace of mind. And so we are not there to argue with the voters.
Right.
We are not there to get into a exchange of words match. All right. So those are some of the things that will be emphasized. And what the NEC is also doing is that the NEC is going to ensure that we have some of all of its staff, all right, that have been working in elections over time to be deployed in strategic areas around the country to also work with the magisterial, the magistrates, the electoral supervisors, and these polling staff in a way that will help to make the process smooth.
Okay, we're just taking another caller. Your name and where you called us from? Hello? Your name and where you called us from? Hello? How's Grand Bassa today? Your concern? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my friend from Grand Bassa, you are quite right. So that's why we have several approaches in a way we carry out civic and voter education. So what we've done right now is that we have put together, with support from one of our partners, a real in common Liberian English radio drama on the voter on the voting process and the voting steps. And then we also have translated that into all of the 16 languages, so that if you can understand English, you will hear it in your language or your vernacular, and you will also understand it.
Let's just hold you there. We'll take another caller. Your name and where you called us from? Hello? Your name and where you called us from? Calling from? Okay, your concern. Okay. Okay. So what's that concern?
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. And as I speak to you right now, um, in as much as we have recruited polling staff over the years, but this time around, because we want the process to be a lot more inclusive
Okay.
and really customer friendly to all of those who have voting cards in our country.
Okay.
The neck or put together a team to work out the modalities to ensure that all of the concerns raised by people in getting people to be to be incorporated as polling staff is taken care of. So yes, we have also put together a strategy that will ensure that also persons with disabilities, all right, are also recruited as polling staff to help us, and also in the different centers, all right. As much as the capability exists, we will be able to absorb these individuals to also work during this process.
Mr. Freeman, I personally have this concern. From what we've seen across Monrovia, people are going there. Mr. Peter is the chairperson or the candidate of Party A, and Mr. Andrews is the head of Party B. Some of their supporters, I don't know if they are exactly the supporters, but I haven't seen anybody doing it. But posters can be seen, brought down. Some people eyes are, toying up with razor blade or whatsoever. Something I see as a bad practice, and think that people might equally do similar thing during the voting day, where you go and check your candidate, because this candidate is not your candidate. You go use a pen or something and say, okay, I'm going to buzz his eye or I'm going to tear the head. What happens to such ballot paper?
Okay, thank you. The thing is, so the question is basically, what are the correct ways to mark the ballot? Our research have shown that in 2005, there were 38,883 invalid votes, or 3.8%. In 2011, there were 82,074 invalid votes, which was 6.4%.
We just hold you there. Okay, go ahead. The guy is gone.
All right,
Yeah.
6.4%. So if we look at it in terms of the incremental nature, as more people vote, we got more incidents of invalid votes.
Okay. And
So
it shouldn't be that.
It shouldn't be that. So one of the strategies we are going to use this time around is that we are going to work with our magisterial teams and other civil society organizations and the media in helping people to mark the ballot, especially by going to the communities using mock ballots.
Okay. Ahead of time.
Ahead of time. So we're going to go to communities with mock ballots. When we go, for example, a marketplace, and do no offense to a market woman, and say, please come mark the ballot for us.
Okay.
All right? So that people will be aware of how they're supposed to do it. Because sometimes it is just the fact that people are just ignorant about what to do. There are others who go there and they say that, okay, they person, I'm a so they check. The airport, I'm a so they bust the R or they put X there.
2 marks on one.
All right, 2 marks on one paper. All right. So those are some of the things that have been the cause for that. So we are going to carry on an aggressive program, working with our civil society organizations, the media, and others, to help people to know how to mark the ballot. And we are also encouraging political parties, independent candidates, okay, as they put out their posters and flyers, to also indicate what the 3 marks are: the check, the thumbprint, and the X. All right, and that any of those marks can be used, okay, or during the voter day. The other thing also that we will be doing is that working with the polling training and procedure section to ensure that during the counting and tallying of the ballots at the end of the voting, all right, that the polling staff will understand that if the real intent of the voter is largely seen in a ballot, even though maybe it slightly cross over to another, but the real intent is shown, that those kind of ballots should not be marked as invalid, but it should go through.
Okay, we'll take a caller. Your name and where you call us from? Hello? Yes, your name and where you call us from? Okay, your concern. Okay, thank you. Yes, that's the question. Voting day, political party transporting their members to a polling center.
Well, I must say that that is something that I need to do a little more research on, because on election day there should be no campaigning. So anything and everything that will constitute a form of campaigning should be discouraged.
Okay.
All right.
To be on the safe side.
Yes, but if, for example, a family member or somebody who is a community leader wants to help people, whether it is allowable and what have you, those are things that we will need to make further discussion on, and then our people in the political affairs section will be able to provide more clarity on that. Okay, but anything and everything that constitutes a form of campaigning should not be done on election day, and therefore that will be my answer to that question.
Okay, how can we conclude on to this edition? We are about to go. What do you think our people need to know that we did not ask you?
Okay, Kota, what is important is that it's important that everybody and anybody who is part of the 2.1 million people that have registered and have a voter card, vote matters. Vote is important. Your one vote can be the reason for a candidate or candidates winning these elections. Okay. So don't underestimate it. Don't say the other people will go vote and I will not vote. All right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's important because there are still people who have not decided.
Okay.
So it's important to engage the different candidates to know what are their plans, what are the perspective of how they want to govern Liberia, okay, how they want to do it, the how and the when, okay, of those processes. It's important that people understand it. But most importantly also, it's important that we continue to remain civil, to continue to remain peaceful, avoid violence as we go through these elections. Because this is the only country we have. After October 10, we all will still remain here, and we must still be able to shake hands after that time.
Anyone who wins, Liberia has won.
Liberia has won.
Thank you so much, Mr. Senesi Freeman. He is the head of the Civic and Voters Education Department at the National Elections Commission, working so hard to ensure that we all understand the processes leading to the October 10 representative and presidential elections. He's been on elections and two. We say thank you so much, Mr. Fremont, again for being a part of the program.
Thank you, sir. And
this program is funded by the USAID through Affairs for the National Elections Commission. It is being broadcast on ELBC. Our community radio partners are now across the country, so we can call you all. But yeah, all out there, we want to say many thanks. My name is Kota Doba. A repeat of this program comes on Saturday at 10:30. But this one is a special edition. It was rescheduled, so expect us here again on Thursday for a fresh edition that will be repeated on Saturday. The program is always at 5 minutes past 3 o'clock on Thursdays. Again, bye bye from our end.
Liberians, our election is in October.